It's pretty mind-blowing how someone manages to convince themselves that what they're doing is okay. It's like they've got their own unique set of rules, right? Then at the end of the day, what seems to matter most to them is the spotlight, their fame. Hey, and what's up everyone? Today we will talk about Andrew Tate's recent take on the victim that how he raped her to get pregnant and in the end, locked her away. So let's get into the main story. Recently, shocking stuff has been coming out about none other than Andrew Tate. Allegedly, he's told a rape victim that he'd get her pregnant and keep her locked away. I mean, seriously, it's like something out of a thriller. But it doesn't stop there. According to some files put together by Romanian prosecutors, there's more. In actuality, they've compiled pages upon pages of testimony and evidence from various women who claim they went through some seriously rough times with Andrew and his brother Tristan. They're saying these women were coerced into making online adult content, and it wasn't just verbal abuse, it got physical too. In this whole scenario, one of the women told prosecutors that Andrew Tate would assault her while keeping her head immobilized so she couldn't move. Later on, he threatened to make her pregnant and lock her up in a house because she dared to send him some negative messages. Honestly, it sounds like a crime novel, but unfortunately, it is real life event. Moreover, the alleged rape victim told prosecutors that, quote, she was crying and scared because she thought Andrew Tate was capable of anything. She claims that during one attack, Tate ordered her to take off her clothes while keeping her shoes on and then slapped her across the face. While another woman also claims some facts about Tate when she refused to do the deed. Shut up, you whore, you will do as I say. Additionally, he also charged them with a 10% fine on their earnings from platforms like OnlyFans for some seriously minor stuff. But it doesn't end there. The files from the prosecution spill all the tea. Not only are there allegations of really serious stuff like rape, human trafficking, and exploiting women, but these guys were raking in some serious dough. Like, we're talking about subscriptions to their online groups bringing in around $5 million a month. That's some crazy numbers, isn't it? Certainly, there are 7 women in the mix here, and they were promised love and all that jazz, but ended up being transported to Romania, where this gang allegedly exploited them and got physical with them. It's a complete mess. In the pile of about 300 pages of testimony and evidence, there's this Georgia Nagel, and according to text messages, she's accused of saying she'd break your teeth or send them to the morgue. Furthermore, Tate claimed himself as the head of the 18+ content business in the text messages, whereas Tristan Tate also appeared to say in audio messages from 2020 that he didn't want women to have access to their accounts on Pornhub and OnlyFans. I don't want them to have the passwords. I don't want them to have anything, Tristan allegedly said. I don't want you to tell them they have OnlyFans. I want that money to be used by me and you. Screw them. Moreover, in the second part of the audio, Tate's brother reportedly said, mainly, I'm gonna save these bitches. I'm gonna make them work even more hours and hours and hours. I work these bitches like slaves. Slave work, minimum 10 or 12 hours a day. Here, it's like the twists and turns keep coming. You know, those files also dive into some details about the subscriptions to the Tate brothers groups, the War Room, and Hustlers University. Supposedly, this is where they help guys level up and become their best selves. But hold on to your seat, because these subscriptions are reportedly bringing in $5 million a month in fees. I know, it's a lot to wrap your head around. In the case of Andrew Tate, you might know him for peddling conspiracy theories online and racking up 7.2 million Twitter followers. This guy's been pretty vocal, repeatedly insisting that the prosecutors don't have any dirt on him and that there's some kind of political scheme going on to shut him up. But wait, a U-turn occurred. The prosecution's got their take on things. They're alleging that the Tate brothers aren't exactly swimming in income from legitimate sources. According to them, they've been snagging up properties left and right from 2018. And guess what? The Tate brothers are speaking up too to deny all the allegations. They're also pointing out that the info being thrown around is mainly coming from the prosecution side of the story. They're reminding everyone that there's a trial coming up, and it's up to the judge to sort out what's what. The whole saga is quite the back and forth, isn't it? As stated before, all intimate relationships that the Tate brothers have engaged in have been fully consensual, and private preferences should remain private, not publicized and scrutinized for the sake of entertainment. Let's not forget the days of December, when these two got arrested in Romania. I mean, it's like something out of a movie. According to Rolling Stone, they got their hands on some screenshots of messages from his War Room. That's like his group chat with his followers, along with other texts from 2021. Apparently, in these messages, he's calling women targets and assets, and chatting about how he'd isolate and manipulate them. It's like a whole other level of disturbing. But hold on a sec. They claim that a bunch of these screenshots that are being shared on social media could be generated by artificial intelligence platforms. The rise of AI and social media as a news source has opened up the opportunity to anonymously present potentially fabricated or manipulated evidence while bypassing the burden of responsibility and avoiding consequences, they said. These realities raise concerns about the potential for a deliberate and targeted effort to sway public opinion and undermine the credibility of the evidence presented. Later on, Tate had an interview with BBC in June. You know this show was a complete verbal showdown. Although he went on to say that he's been painted as the bad guy, while the BBC didn't exactly raise a storm with their presenters, Jimmy Savile and Rolf Harris were accused of grooming and assaulting girls. I guarantee you, he's trying to flip the script and make a point about how the media handles different situations. Where was the BBC's outrage when Jimmy Savile and Rolf Harris were grooming and raping and molesting young girls for decades? It was seen that Tate was not holding back at all. He's brushing off the testimonies of women who have come forward accusing him of some pretty awful stuff. Now this is where it gets interesting. When Tate was asked about Sophie's story, he came back with a shocker. He straight up said that she doesn't exist. Yep, he dismissed her claims and even started firing off questions at the BBC reporter. I mean, he didn't provide any evidence to back up his claim or anything. "I've asked you a question and I've allowed you into my house," Tate said, to which the BBC reporter responded, "I am asking you a question, you get to decide the answers." But Tate hit back and said, "No, we are equal here. I've allowed you into my house. You don't come here with a position of authority. I'm doing you the favor as legacy media, giving you relevance by speaking to you. And I'm telling you now, this Sophie, which the BBC has invented, who has no face, nobody knows who she is. I know." There is no doubt that they allegedly took advantage of these women's trust and ended up exploiting them in such a blatant way. Guys, it's like a whole operation they had going on, and it's crazy how this kind of stuff can happen right under our nose. That's a wrap of today's video. Please press the like, share, and subscribe buttons on this channel. See you in the next video.